Boom! Welcome back to the Sloppy Horror Podcast. I am your host and your scary movie companion, Christian Ramey. And back again, another week, clapping them cheeks. It's the best producer in the whole wide world, Mr. Ozark Mark. Mark, how we feeling?
Aw, yeah. Aw, yeah. That's right. We're back. Hello. How are you? Good. That's good. We are here. Once again, right up back up in your ass. With another fantastic movie, as promised here on Towards the End. We're getting towards the end here of the Sloppy Road Trip.
We are.
Sloppy Road Trip, and we got one hell of a destination here for you today. And it's the perfect destination for us right now because it's hot and it's swampy and my balls are drowning because it's so goddamn hot outside. Sure, it's that way for you too. It's everywhere. But we're talking about the descent.
We are.
The descent.
I like that. I like that because honestly, I mean, well, it's supposed to be in the Appalachian Mountains, but they're liars. They filmed it in Scotland. It was not.
No, there were Scotland accents and stuff, right?
Yeah, they're British people and they're Scottish. They're, you know, all types of talks like this. We go in the cave, yeah. Fucking wicked time. Got cave water in me minge.
Stop.
You're like, all right. You're scaring me.
I couldn't go over there and not laugh.
I know.
I cannot travel there. I'm sorry.
I know.
I love the accents, though. I love them. I would listen to it all day, but
yeah, not in a sexy way.
Do you think? Have you ever heard like people impersonate Americans? Mm-hmm. It's hilarious.
It is pretty hilarious, but
I wonder if it's hilarious for us to do it too.
It is.
I don't know.
But I don't know what it is, but it's not sexy. Not in the women way. I'm not saying, you wouldn't go. But I just feel like there's a tad bit of aggression in there that they've got. Give me your cock, yeah? And you're like, look, I need you to not. You're mashing it. You're not even. You're getting.
You're just mashing it now.
You're just getting too much. We say we wrestle around a bit. You're like, I don't like what you're saying.
It sounds like a villain.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't
like
like
a wicked
that.
witch of the west.
I just don't like it, and it scares me. Well, I'm sure there's some, polite, sensitive women over there, but for some reason, the ones that I encounter with that accent are like, give me your cock, yeah.
When the fuck did that happen to you?
I'm just saying, like, the women that I encounter that are friends from overseas that I talk to.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Within the horror community.
Okay.
And to be more specific.
Right.
They're just, they come at you with a little, you're like, all right, calm down. I'm not, not doing this. And that's what these ladies were like, And I'm not going to lie to you. There's a lot to get into with this movie. But before we do that, I do want to mention, if you are watching on YouTube, be sure that you are subscribed to the channel.
Click the button.
Do it. Because not only does that help us out big time, it spreads the word. And, pushes the videos out there. So likes, comments. Let us know where you're from. If you like this movie, if you don't like this movie, let us know. Also, if you're not watching on YouTube, just open up your phone and give us a subscribe. But also, audio listeners on Spotify, Apple Podcast, you open up that app and then you give us 5 stars. You'd be surprised how far that goes. And it's completely for free to do and probably takes you 10 seconds of your time. Not to mention that, if you want to help us out a step further, you can sign up for our Patreon. And our Patreon, that's patreon.com/sloppyhorror. All kinds of bonus episodes, fun stuff to do. And then on top of that, guys, we got merchandise. We got stuff out. We got a t-shirt exclusive, for the season. It's the Sloppy Road Trip. It's the season t-shirt, and it's pretty cool. I really enjoy it. I've seen a couple people have already bought it, and they understand. We're not fucking around. We're not playing games. Once this season's over, the shirts are gone. No more. You should have listened. There's rules. There's rules, and you can't just walk around breaking rules. That's not how life works, all right? You go to bed on time, you eat your vitamins, you do your training, say your prayers. That's, you don't fuck around. So I'm not playing games with y'all. These shirts are gone once they're gone, and they're not coming back. All right, now we've got t-shirts that are around all the time, of course, Sloppy Horror logos. We're not going to leave you with nothing, but these are exclusive. And they're kind of like band tour t-shirts. That's how I look at it, right? You're not going to get it unless you were there for the tour. You had to do it when they came to your town. It took some planning and, coordination. So if you guys got those skills, get you one of them fucking t-shirts. And if you do, I'll sign it, all right? You walk up, I'll sign it. Or maybe you don't want that. That's fine. Maybe Ozark will sign it.
I'll jizz on it for you.
Right on the nips.
Yep.
So let's move forward here a little, all right? I do want to give you guys some kind of fucking synopsis of the movie The Descent, because this is a weird one, because there are people when you talk to them where they're like, oh my God, dude. And then other people are like, I don't know if I've seen that one. And you're like, watch it.
Huh?
Yeah, dude, if you're into horror, watch it. So I think we should fill the shoes first.
Fill the shoes with the path of the wicked. Unleash the fury, let the chaos reign.
That's right, buddy. We're back. We are back to fill your shoes, open up them laces, let them breathe so we can put more shit in there, more facts, because you can't just be watching movies without knowing what time frame they came out. It really does help, actually.
It matters a lot.
It does, because especially, with songs, movies, things were relevant in pop culture at that time. You're like, you hold forgivenesses in parts that didn't age well. You're like, yeah, but that was cool when that came out.
Sure.
So this movie, The Descent, it came out on July 6th, 2005. A lot of movies around this time. Why have we been doing a lot? I don't know. It's just been that way. But I was in high school. I wish I could be in high school, Billy. Don't you ever say that.
Yeah, don't ever say that.
Yeah, don't say it.
It's the truest statement I've ever heard in a movie.
Now, some cool things were going on, it was a fun year. It was a fun year. I was definitely in some jean shorts somewhere.
I wish jean shorts were still cool, because I would love to wear them again.
They're coming back. They're coming back, actually.
If you're a dad, you can wear them.
Yeah, but they're coming back even in the longer ways. Like, they're coming back.
They're coming in, not that I've seen. I see shit that's mid-thigh, and it's like, yo, did you get that in the women's section? It's like the same level as boy shorts or whatever the fuck they call them.
Well, yeah, they got to have a cool design. I rock the Stone Cold Steve Austin sometimes, I just, that's the ones I'll rock, because that's what I take. But I'm picturing, like, dads in the 90s that came to the games. That's what I'm trying to mimic,
I'm pissed. I don't have my good pair of jorts anymore. That was the most comfortable pair of fucking shorts I've ever had.
I'm going to get you some more, because they're back. You know what's stupid now? Kids have started shaving their head down and bleaching it again. Like, Eminem and Joe Burrow. He just did it recently. And it's like, I did this shit in 1999.
Well, things always make a comeback. There's nothing you could do about it. At least they're doing something cool and not something dumb.
Once these kids started growing their hair back out, like I'm with that train. Dude, I like growing the hair out.
Whatever. I'd rather see all the teenage kids with short bleach blonde hair than this perm shit or whatever the fuck they all got. The broccoli heads and all that stuff.
I don't like the broccoli head.
Get them out of here.
No, I'm talking specifically the mullet kids. The kids that have a sense of humor, that are like really rocking the mullet, and they look like a 45-year-old trucker.
Sure.
Walking up to the plate. You're like, I like this kid. He's got a sense of humor.
All right.
Not broccoli head.
All right, enough of that. Let's continue on with filling my shoes because they're empty. I need them to be filled, please.
Look, Mark. That's a hard segue. That's a mean segue. That's not how we do that.
Well, that's for you.
I'm just letting you know what these kids are doing out here.
I got it. Let's get back into 2005. I don't want to be in 2024. I want to be in 2005.
That's a good point. So hop in your time machines, because the number one movie right now is War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise. That was kind of a good movie, kind of a weird movie.
Yeah, I don't like it that much.
It's like, I give it respect, but it wasn't the best.
No.
The first of the trilogy, Batman Begins. Batman Begins with Christian Bale, Christopher Nolan.
Wasn't a bad series. I liked it. Heath Ledger destroyed that series in the second one, but
he did, dude. He was a badass.
he made it.
Yeah. He's not my favorite Joker, but he's his own Joker. Like, like no one can match what he did, bro. Like, it's like you can't even, like, he just took it and made it something different, and it worked. And that rarely works. To take a legendary character and say, like, yeah, I'm going to go off course with this, because most comic book people are going to freak the fuck out when you do that.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, that's a different dude. Like, he's like the dark Joker. Badass. But this is you remember Cillian Murphy was the Scarecrow in this one.
Right.
He always plays somebody scary. Fucking Herbie the Love Bug, fully loaded with fucking Lindsay Lohan. That came out. What is this stupid movie? Mom's like, Herbie the Love... Shut the fuck up, Mom. We're not watching Herbie the Love Bug.
I don't know what that is.
We're trying to watch WrestleMania. The fuck? All right, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Bart Pitts, and Angelina Jolie.
Yeah. Bart Pitts.
Revenge of the Sith, Madagascar, Longest Yard, and George A. Romero's Land of the Dead. These were the movies that were popular in the theater at the time. The box office was...
It wasn't too bad.
Yeah, it was all right.
It was a good time.
Now, as far as the Billboard charts, this was the time frame where she came back. We belong together. I can't sleep at night when you are on my mind. Bobby Womack's on the radio.
Huh?
You remember Mariah Carey, We Belong Together. That was a smash.
Yeah.
That was a smash. Any Girl You Bone said that was your song.
It's hard to it's hard to differentiate from you doing it sometimes.
Oh yeah, I don't have the voice of Mariah Carey.
You don't.
And I wasn't really
now if it was Sandra
singing.
Bullock, I would have fucking got it right away.
Oh,
but
yeah.
no,
I haven't bust that one out in a long time.
that's not.
Now, number 2 song was Inside Your Heaven. It was the American Idol was huge at this time frame, and Carrie Underwood and this dude Bo Bryce, they were like the finale people. And Carrie Underwood
is like the only person to ever succeed from winning that.
Yeah, like I don't even really think American Idol when I first hear her name.
American Idol is still going on apparently, and name another person from that.
Bro, that's just so fucking stupid.
I know.
Every person, they just do some trauma shit. They're like, here's Mark, and you'd be like, my dad died.
I know.
And you're like,
why
okay.
Why can't somebody just have a regular story? It's like, yeah, I got a nice 9-to-5 job, got a family, and I just like to sing, so I'm here to sing. No,
he would never win.
No.
He would never win.
No, it's bullshit. All right.
Once again, take the kid that lives in a trash can.
Once again, being a normal, successful, hardworking citizen gets you fucking nowhere.
No.
All right.
Here's Mark. I live in a trash can. Oh, I like him.
Yeah.
You're like, I hate people. I can't watch shows like that. Now, though that was song, Holla Back Girl. That was the number 3 song. We all know that, Gwen Stefani.
Yeah.
That's what you think of when you try to spell bananas.
Yeah. It is.
It goes in everybody's don't forget about Black Eyed Peas, Funk With My Heart. And then our boy, this is the time of the massacre, 50 Cent, just a little bit. You know?
Oh, man.
Yep. And then don't forget the stupid-ass song from the Pussycat Girls, the fucking Don't You Wish Your Girlfriend Was Hot Like Me?
Ah, jeez.
Don't you? No, I wish you would shut the fuck up.
This is like 20% good.
Yep, okay. What about Pretty Ricky? Grind with me.
No.
Man, and then you had Sierra and Ludacris with that one. Yep, but that gives you a time frame. That year,
Can't stand Sierra.
Our Super Bowl champions were the New England Patriots. They beat the Philadelphia Eagles that year. Your Chicago White Sox swept the Houston Astros for the World Series. And then that year, the San Antonio Spurs with Tim Duncan and the boys, they beat the Detroit Pistons. And no champion for NHL because there was a lockout that year, if you guys remember. It was also the year of Hurricane Katrina. And then my boy, Johnny Carson, he died that year, early that year. Most legendary man behind a mic, in my opinion. It was the debut year of YouTube, so if you're watching now, you know, The Descent came out right around the same time. Big shows at the time, American Idol, CSI, Grey's Anatomy, Survivor, Desperate Housewives. So if you guys remember that time frame, now you're all fucking filled up.
Thank God.
Y'all
Now we can continue.
Now y'all filled up.
Yeah.
All right.
The Descent.
All right, let me tell y'all about the motherfucking Descent. Yeah.
Fuck. That's it. That's the one. Tell y'all about this fuckers about this descent.
Right. Yeah. No, seriously. This,
Oh, dude, it was funny, man.
This movie is about 6 lesbians who go into a cave in the Appalachian Mountains and end up dealing with and I don't think they all say they're lesbians, but I'm not gonna lie to you. This movie starts like a Lana Del Rey song. You know, you're like, is this good? You know, like every person within the first 15 minutes of this movie is like, is this good? Am I like along for this ride?
That was a thing because I remember this movie. I forgot the ending. I thought the ending was different than what happened, but I remember the descent, and I watched it on Freevee because that's a place where it's for free. And then the description was just a group of 6 women go into a cave and encounter mutants. That was the description. So I forgot how good this movie was, dude. And it's very deceiving because if you just look at it and be like, okay, 6 broads go into a cave, you think it's going to be just creepy, slow, and there's going to be a lot of off-camera kills. No. This movie is brutal.
Yeah, bro.
There is some brutality in this movie. It's intense.
And the chicks were awesome, too. The chicks, they got down. I can't deny the chicks got down in this movie. But there is some, let's just go up with first fuck up number 1. Don't go to the Appalachian Mountains if you're not familiar with the Appalachian Mountains and you're not people from there. All right, now that's not just one state. That's how I knew these people weren't, like the dude that made this movie wasn't American, because he just said Appalachian Mountains, and you're like, which 6 states are you mentioning? It's like, it goes up pretty fucking high, bud.
Yeah.
But we knew what they were going for. North Carolina, down there, even like towards the, the other side of Kentucky. Like once you get in there, the cool part, you could tell, especially right where we're from, we got a lot of German people, a lot of people that come from German, but then like myself, people that come from southern Appalachian Mountains, bro. And America would be a hard country to invade, but I've seen some funny videos where they say, like, if you're going to invade here, that's the last place to go, bro. Like, do not,
No.
bro. Like, you're people buried in the hills. Like, just think of, like, that movie Lawless, but, like, with modern weaponry and technology. Like, you don't want to be in there. That's the last place. So, like, the people alone, nah. Like, I mean, I'm saying the people are cool, but you don't just go walking on other people's territory. That's like scary movie rule number 1. You don't go to a property that's not yours fucking around. Like, that's rule number 1. Like, I do that in real life. If you're like, oh, we're going to go out camping, whose place? Where are we?
Who owns it?
We're fishing here? Whose pond is this? Like, like, we're not fucking around. Like, that's just rule number 1. So, like, they kind of fucked around because the girl misled them and took them to a cave that was undiscovered. Kind of lied to them. The leader of the group, Juno, if you will, she was, she was a tough, badass chick in her own right, but she kind of set her friends up and, it was an ego trip, like the one friend said, and got them down in this cave. And they got trapped in there. And once they got trapped, they started trying to make their way out. One of the girls breaks their legs before they really even encounter somebody. And it's a compound fracture. It's gnarly. It's gross.
Dude, the bone's sticking out and everything. And you can tell it's good because as a fan of horror movies, there's a lot of brutality. If bones start popping out when it's just like a fight scene or something, nothing. But when somebody falls down, dude, and their bone is just sticking out like that, it made me go. There's a couple parts in this movie that made me go,
That's
fuck.
Really.
And that's a good job if you could do that to somebody like me to go, fuck.
Yeah, and that's a deep chord, dude. Like, psychologically, even like with horror movies, somebody could be like, wow, how could you watch all that stuff, whatever. It's just like, because I disconnect. But the things that are more real, something that could happen that you could see, are like, ooh. The Exorcist, you could watch that whole movie, but when Regan goes into like the doctor's office and they put that like needle in her neck, you're like, like that, like, because that's some doctor shit. That's some.
Yeah.
I don't care about her bending in half and like whatever. You could spin her whole head around, bro. I don't care, Because it's not real. Head gets cut off with glass in The Omen. Whatever. A needle to the neck, bro. The Achilles cut in Hostel. Like, there's certain things that are kind of realistic where you're like, I don't want any of that. And that leg break, great job. Yeah. I mean, that makes anyone uncomfortable. Like, you got to be like an ER doctor to be like, all right, I'm good.
Yeah, that's something you didn't know. And then what's the main character's name?
So Sarah is the main girl, right?
Right, and she takes a fall, dude, and bangs her head, and it's a hard thump on that thing, and that made me go, aw, too. Like, straight up smacks her, falls down, smacks her head on a rock, and it's just boom. That was another one. It's just, oh, God.
It's pretty crazy. But these people go into the Appalachian woods, into the mountains, which there's crazy stories, folklore, like wild shit that people have said they've heard in the middle of the night, like witch stories, all kind of shit. You want to creep yourself out, look out Appalachian Stories. One of the coolest podcasts I listened to was like Old Gods Appalachia. It was more of storytelling, but it was like that, like some dude telling creepy old stories. And it's like, damn, dude, I'm not creeping around, but these people do. But bro, if I'm going into the woods like that, and down into some mountains and caves, we're strapped up. Like, I mean, we got a lot. The issue is there's a lot of those creatures. So, like, how much ammo are you packing? I don't know if I would have packed enough ammo for a situation like that. But we're not going to be just down there with nada. Like, hell no, bro.
Dude, I want to be it now. This movie creates an irrational fear, I think, for most people. Because most people are not going to go into an uncharted cave. Most people aren't going to go to a cave in general. I'm not. I'll go into
Hell no.
The only caves I go into are the ones that have a gift shop you walk through before you go down into the cave, and there's railings and lights.
Yeah.
I'll go in those caves.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, I'll go in those caves. It's nice and cool down there. Right? You get to see some cool stuff. I don't need to go to uncharted shit where there's bat people or whatever the fuck those things are.
You know, this is a subcategory of white people called the granola whites, okay? I've seen these before. I don't take credit for that term. Some creator I've seen out there, you know, making subcategories of whites. And these people are granola whites. They eat granolas and, you know, little berries and stuff. And they're, you know, they're little adventurous people. Sometimes a little pretentious. Usually drive Subarus. Usually have rain gear. If I called you right now, Mark, like, hey, get your rain gear, you'd be like, the fuck are you talking about?
What the hell is that?
Should I get a hoodie? But these people, the granola whites, they've got all sorts of things like that. And, you know, it's a group of granola whites, all right? You know, I don't know, you know, if I have enough sweaters or cats to fit in with these people, but, you know, I do like coffee and I have a few cats. So maybe, you know, and I like books, you know, on rainy days. So maybe these girls, I could be friends with them. And if I was, I would say, look, we all got weapons, all right? I don't care. Even if you go down in a cave and it's a mountain lion, like a realistic thing, that's scary. With nothing, just like, all right, let's go, buddy. Like, no. That cat, a wild cat, bro, that's the shit I'm really looking for when I'm out. Like, I'm not saying like other shit you can't, but a snake, walk away from it. Like, you ain't walking away from a cat if he's interested in you, bro.
No.
Like,
just try getting away from your house cat when it's trying to bug you when it's hungry. Okay, you can't get away. It's the same fucking thing.
Not to mention bears. So you guys are hiring buck going out there with no weapons. Like, not talking like, oh yeah, bro, I'm strapped and that kind of shit. Like, no, like just what weapons are for. Like, you got bears, lions, all kind of shit. Not lions, but mountain lions, all kind of shit out there. And then the creepy cave people. So I feel like, I'm not saying fellas, but I'm saying more realistically, there's a lot of ladies that got, you know, take classes and have, you know, weapons too. So I feel like that's a part that's kind of unrealistic, because especially a place where you're allowed to have shit like that is there. Like, you're fucked. They don't care. You could get pulled over before going camping, and they're like, oh, hell yeah, it's not set up back there. You're going to need something. You're going
way
there.
up there, huh?
Yeah. You're going up there, Bigfoot. And they're like, all right. So that's dumb. You don't go in uncharted territory. That's rule number 2, dumb. I mean, and then just caving in general, like you said, that's fucking idiotic. But if you're one of the granola whites who does it, how about we take charted territories? This movie falls into a similar category of like a Frozen, you know, that irrational fear of like you're stuck somewhere, you know, you're along for this ride. There's this movie called Fall that came out that's very much like Frozen and 48 meters down, that kind of situation where they climb up top this tower and these girls are freaked out. But there's the same situation where the girl like fucks the other one's dude and she didn't know it. Like,
always a story in that.
I don't know, dude. And like, I don't know.
It's the same thing in this one.
I know. Pretty fucking strange.
Speaking of which, dude, I forgot how intense that this opening scene was in this movie, dude.
The whitewater rafting part?
No, right after that, the fucking copper pipe wreck just going right through dude's skull, through her daughter. Like, oh shit, gnarly right off the bat.
Well, you find out that he's shitty. You know, not
Right.
the kid, but you know, like you find out he's shitty. He was
Right.
banging a friend. He was banging Juno.
Yeah,
So she gets revenge later.
that's okay. I can understand. You know,
Yeah.
Juno's pretty hot. You know, especially when she got all badass. Oof.
Yeah, no, she was badass in that kind of sense, but she seems like she would get on my nerves. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, be like too, like,
That's why she was the side piece, apparently.
well, exactly. But she like was the person on vacation that woke everybody up early. I like at that point, I don't care if we're supposed to be up. Don't wake me up.
No,
Like I'm waking up. I wake up.
it's on vacation. You wake up when you wake up. Shut up.
Yeah, but I don't worry. My alarm, like if your alarm was set for like 4 minutes before she comes in, or like I'm an adult. Don't you come in here with that wakey shit. You're gonna get sweet chin music. Like you know, give me a couple minutes and then I'll be very friendly. All right, let me caffeinate. Let me get together. So that pissed me off. And then she, you know, she seems like, you know, she would be like, I could do what the guys do. You know, like, all right, chill. All right, I'm gonna try and talk baseball with you, bro. Why don't you make some food for my friends and I. But that's what I'm into. You know, people could be into whatever they're into. But, you know, I get a lot of that from her. Not all the granolas in here. A few of them were, you know, they had sensitive qualities. But she didn't seem sensitive. She seemed mean. And that's why she got a fucking pick through her leg and ate up by these descent creatures. You know, if you really want to, you know, you want to get a girl, if she's into horror and she's seen this movie, you'd be like, I'm going to take you home and eat you up like one of them descent creatures. You know, she'd be like, what the fuck? Because you remember when she was eating that girl's belly?
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was bad.
That's how you got to go in.
Yeah.
Yeah, making the noises and shit. You know, she might be into it. You don't know. She might have a thing.
Girls like getting kissed on their bellies.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But, you know, you go full, you know, on her vagine with the descent style, like these people would.
I'm about to descent that pussy of yours.
Exactly, dude.
Say
Yeah.
that to your girl.
Yeah, she might be afraid, but, you know, she's still going to go home. She's going to be like, all right, we're going to figure this out. But this is a classic example, though, of, like, if I can give, like, any kind of metaphor or analogy, right? Like, we've got, like, a little, we start this fire of this movie. It's like a little empty soup can. You throw a match in there. It's just like a little small flame. And I'm telling you, like, at first in this movie, it's like the Jeopardy theme song, like, and you're like, okay, all right, I get their friends, all right, I get their characters, and then about 35 minutes in, you're like, okay, like you're involved into people that are like exploring a cave, and then they start to get trapped, and you're like, okay, it picks up, but when shit takes off, oh my God, I mean, it is a free fall, dude. It's a bonfire. Like it goes from a small little like candle being lit to a bonfire pretty quickly, and it just turns up the heat the whole way out, and I really liked that. I liked the pacing, because all horror movies have a different pacing, and one of my biggest issues with like the elevated horror, if you will, the stuff that's kind of, it's just too slow paced. There's just not enough punch to keep me in, and sometimes they try to go for like the overkill, like a really sad tone, like killed the whole family. You're like, all right, like I just waited this whole movie for like a super like sad thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of slow pacing now. I've been noticing with newer stuff. It's like, all right, can we just speed up the ride here? We want to go fast, all right? We don't want to fucking
That's why I liked
safety laps.
Yeah, that's why I
around.
liked Would You Rather, because even though Would You Rather kind of ended on one of those tones of a newer movie where it's just like, yep, the brother died anyways, like, that's okay, because the whole movie was really engaging and, you know, had funny moments and, like, you're in it the whole time. this does the same way. So yeah, when you kind of get too gappy or pacey, it's hard for me to really identify as like a horror versus just like a noir dark film. But this is scary. And for anybody that's watching, I don't know if you can see the screensaver behind Mark. I really loved that, like when she was crawling out, and then that image, when I clicked on it, it looked weird like that, not a focus, but it was like, I like that. But that was one of the most beautiful shots in any movie I've ever seen. That'd be like a top 100 horror shots for me, is just her crawling up those bones towards that light at the tunnel. I've never seen anything like that before. It very much lives in my head for this movie. Just looked cool as hell.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome. Well, let's take a break here and get the guys in here to learn more things about this movie.
Let's do it.
Welcome to the What Do You Know? Here's a segment here where we're here to tell you something that you may or may not know about this movie. We're going to tell you things we know about this movie. You may know what we know, you may not know what we know, but if you know what we know, you're going to have what we know-gasm. If you don't know what we know, you better find out what we know, and you're going to have what we know-gasm too. Don't worry, everybody's included. Nobody's left out. Out. Here. So, why don't you tell me something that you may or may not know about this movie, please?
I will do so. So when these people are in the cave, all right, they got to use different stuff to light up. They got flashlights, they got stuff on their helmets to help them see and look around, but they also got neon glow sticks. Every neon glow stick that you see in this movie was bought from an adult toy shop.
No, it wasn't.
It was. It was. That's
they got neon lights in adult toy shops?
I guess so. I guess so, because that's where all these were bought.
I'm
Some
trying to
kind of
find
Lions Den off the highway. You know. That's where they went. They bought some glow sticks. So that's a fun fact about this movie.
Lions Den off the highway. Everybody's seen those, you know. But that's cool, you know. Hey, next time I'm going to go in there and be like, where are your glow sticks, please?
Yes.
Why are they in there?
I don't know.
Why is that the place?
I don't know.
Is that where you go to buy glow sticks?
That's where I'm going from here on out.
I guess so.
Now I know.
Okay.
Do you know anything about this movie?
Yeah, I know there's a little something here. So, filming in a cave, an actual cave, that could be pretty fucking hard, right? I mean, you know, how you gonna get lights in there? How you gonna get electrical power? First of all, how you gonna get the fucking cameras down there and all your equipment?
Not a lot of safety there.
No, it's not. It's not good. It's not great. So, no real caves were used in this movie, but they built 21 or 22. 21 is what it was. Sorry, I forgot. It's 21 separate caves.
Wow, that's a lot of caves.
Little sets here for the movie. So they were in a whole bunch of caves because they wanted to make it seem like, you know, there was a never-ending corridor of, you know, pathways and lakes and fucking, you know, fountains or whatever the fuck else they had in there.
Some creepy shit.
It was very creepy. It looked like a real cave to me.
It did to me,
especially
too.
that fucking first one where they got to rappel down, all man-made.
Oh, yeah.
That's a big hole in the ground, too. Oh, my God.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If I saw that hole, I'd be like, I'm not going down there.
No way.
It's
where Jeepers Creepers lives.
No, thank you.
I'm not going in there.
No. But there you go.
That's some good facts for the movie to descend.
Thank you.
You know, that's all I got, but I feel like lots of people who know this movie didn't know those facts.
No, I didn't know them.
Well, now we're smart.
Fuck yeah. Well, that's all we got here, so we're gonna fucking leave now because we did a job and they don't pay us enough.
Mark, did you ever get to see, or I didn't know, did you ever watch any of the Lord of the Rings movies?
No.
Okay. Well, if you had, these crawlers, as they're called in this movie, the creepy cave people, cave mutants, they look a lot like the orcs from Lord of the Rings. Not like completely, but there's similarities in those. And I pick up a lot of that from this. The director, what's his name? Neil Marshall, he said he had a lot of inspiration from a few different movies, like The Shining, you know, somebody kind of going crazy. He also said The Deliverance, obviously, out in the middle of nowhere. And then like Alien was another one, kind of the claustrophobia and you know, being hunted. And I definitely pick up a little of that from there, but I'm telling you, I pick up some like Lord of the Rings a little bit because there's a little like Gollum in there too. They've got a little bit of that to them, and I don't know. They're just unique to themselves, and I don't see many movies that have tackled caves or cave people. This movie is, I mean, it has a second one, but they like it lives by itself. It's just kind of undefeated. It was the first to do it. I would watch more creepy cave movies. Don't get me wrong. Like, I would watch the shit out of them, but I don't know, man. I feel like, I'm not saying I feel like this is real, but I'm not denying it. I'm not going to go find out.
No, I don't want to find out either. You know, same thing like in the catacombs or some shit like that. I ain't going down there.
Yeah, dude.
You don't go underground. Stay above it.
Dude.
Okay? When you die, you can go under there, but you stay above ground, please. All right? Stay on the crust. Don't go down.
Could you imagine, though, like, this is the first place your mind would go. If you were in a cave for some reason and you saw something out of the corner of your eye, you'd be like, bro,
give me something sharp, please.
Is this happening?
Fuck, dude.
Why? But that's just, you know, you can say that, you know, maybe movies change the way you think. Maybe they do, but maybe they make you a little bit more cautious. I just think I'm a little bit more cautious to things, and I'm not doing that. But I did get some Lord of the Rings vibes. If you guys got those vibes, definitely let me know. What did you guys think the crawlers look like? I like to know people's feedback.
Well, why don't you give me some feedback? What's your favorite part of the movie?
I definitely like the tunnel. The most beautiful shot was her crawling up the bones. Really loved that. But one of my favorite shots was, who was it? Sarah. She was on her own, and she eventually is like running away from like this female crawler, and she jumps into like this little pond thing, and this like female crawler comes after her, and she kills her with this bone, and she's like covered in this like red cave water, and everything is red. It was just a beautiful shot. It was really cool, but that scene's always lived to me. I really liked that. I also liked the scene where the one girl was climbing, rappelling off the top, where she wasn't rappelling, she was trying to like work her way across, and one of them things crawled up on the stalactites or whatever the fuck they're called, and just tears her apart, and she's just dangling up there. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, with a throat slit.
What'd you think? What was your favorite?
Well, you kind of took it. It was that red pond scene. I mean, just her taking that out, all red and everything, and then that's the part where she becomes like, fuck it, like she fed up, she came like badass, like survival mode, started kicking ass.
Final girl mode kicked in.
Yeah, exactly. So you start rooting for her, you're like, fuck yeah. And then not only after that, one of the coolest parts was right after she got out of that pond, she killed that one, another one comes, and she just lies dead still. And it's like fucking putting its paw or claw right on her head, like sniffing around, and just goes away. Like, that's fucking intense, scary ass scene.
Yeah, and if for those of you who haven't seen it, these creepy crawler people, they've got T-Rex vision. If you're not moving, really, they can't see you. It's bad vision, and they're kind of like a bat, where they like use sonar, where they use hearing because they're in a cave, so that makes sense. I thought that was kind of a cool quality. If there was like some weird mutants who lived in caves, that's probably how they would.
I believe it. They make them believable.
Yeah. So if you're like, as long as you're kind of quiet, but I'm not going to lie to you, dude. Like, A, I feel like we'd have weapons, but B, if, like, once I knew that it was a noise thing, I'd be like, oh, bro, like, we're good. You know, like, with wives and husbands, like, when my wife wakes up early on a Sunday or a Saturday, everything's moving, vacuums are on, there's music on, there's no fucks given for people sleeping. Moms don't care if people are sleeping, dude. They wake everyone up. Bro, I'm a ninja. I can, like... you won't even hear me. I can make a whole omelet in there, dude. Fuck around, do the dishes. You won't even know I'm up.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's a quality other people practice, but do you ever try to ninja?
It's an awesome... Men are ninjas. Women are just fucking bandstand. Pump, pump. If I'm up, everybody's got to be up. That's their fucking thing. I live with my parents right now, and I can tell the difference when my dad wakes up and my mom wakes up first.
Dads have those
Just
first...
fucking everywhere.
Dads have the first 5 minutes of waking where They can have some like loud farts and some, you know, in the bath, but that's it. That's all you're really gonna get, and I blame that on age. It's not really by choice. Their bodies are just failing, and like
the only way I could tell if my dad wakes up is if the toilet flushes. That's it. It's the loudest noise he makes, but that's it's this. Once we learn the noise thing down there, oh yeah, fucking ninja mode, dude. I'd be sneaking up on them. Fuck it.
I know. Like,
you know?
I'm telling you, dude, like, we would have some kind of plan in order, especially if we could, like, you know, flank them, or if, you know, if we did have weapons, bro, it would be fish in a barrel. But that one girl did have a plan, though, because she was like, all right, these things are eating things from the surface, so they're getting out from somewhere. So if we can kind of, like, watch them, that was a good idea. That was a really good idea.
Great idea.
And I think in moments like that, because that's what horror movies really at the core of them, you're with a group of people, and you really have to let your best human qualities shine. And some people don't have those. And, like, not trying to be too, like, corny about it, but it's like, in a moment like that, you really gotta, all bullshit aside, whatever's happening, you gotta, like, hone in and figure out a plan. You gotta figure out a way. And, like, you have to accept that, like, we may or may not make it, but the only way that we're gonna do it is by trying to fight and trying to be smart here. And, like, we could sit here and fucking debate and fucking fight each other, but we're gonna end up right back here at the same spot.
They were doing it smart. I mean, they did all logical things. She's also trying to, with the lighter, trying to find airflow. I mean, that's a very fucking real thing to do in a cave.
Oh yeah.
You know, so, but for some reason, like I said, I could have sworn the ending was different. I remember her getting out as the ending, but then I thought it was a dream, and then I thought she woke up back in the cave and was fucked.
I feel like she did.
No.
She did, though, because she woke up, and it was ambiguous, because...
she woke up. I mean, she puked, but then she just, like, the ending is, like, she just sees the traumatizing of her friend that she killed in the car, and then just screams, and that's it.
Yeah, but that scream, she's in an all-black place. I don't know, dude, that, like, ending scene, like, if you, I really think that she is in the cave. I do.
I don't know. I thought that there was a shot of her in the cave after she wakes up and all of them surrounding her, and then it stops, and then it ends. Or maybe that might be the ending to the second one. I don't remember. I don't know if I've ever seen the second one or not. But I thought that was the ending originally.
But I'm definitely getting like some... So there's an alternate ending. So maybe that's what it is. That's what happened. There's an alternate ending. And like the scream that I got, like she's in the cave. And that reminds me of Sally from fucking Texas Chainsaw. But so maybe that's why. But I kind of like the ambiguous. I like when people leave the door open to leave for thought that way. It's like, oh, you wanted to feel good leaving? Go fuck yourself. Caves are still creepy. Yeah. You're like, oh,
shit.
I just felt good about this. I do love those. Just a little middle finger at the end. But I do. Like, I feel like once we kind of learned that, I feel like many nights of training of trying to get snacks in the middle of the night by trying to be a ninja, I would have, perfected this. You almost might be in there like Shoeless Joe, dude. Like, you'd be in there.
Oh, yeah.
You feel like a beast. You took out a bunch of them, though.
Oh, yeah. I'd take out, I can't find my way out of a cave. I'd be fucked. So I'm just going to kill as many of these as I possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you. I'm killing your little baby fucking mutant.
Oh, yeah.
All of them. I'm killing them all.
Oh, yeah.
I'll make my own little spot in the cave and pile. Like they had piles of bones in there. It'd be a pile of those dead bat things everywhere.
Dude, I would try to like follow them if you could. Like just walk with them. Like
yeah. Like some Walking Dead shit. Just cover yourself in their blood.
Yeah, dude.
And
yeah,
just follow
dude.
them.
And then all you got... You just gotta... You know, like when you like get face to face with your dog and you do weird shit, just just same kind of thing.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe you could fit in. Maybe you could realize, hey, I don't have to work down here. Maybe I could fit in with these people.
I do get some nice food down here.
Yeah, maybe one of them cave girls throws some of that cave pussy at you. You don't know, might change your life.
You could. I mean,
you don't know, dude.
Oh, God, that's disgusting. Well, let's travel to another world, to another realm, and rate this movie. I'm curious, please.
Sloppy horror rating, baby, yeah!
That is right. This is the one-of-a-kind, one and only world-renowned, world-famous, special Sloppy Horror Podcast rating system developed by Christian Ramey, your very scary movie companion. He has developed a horror movie rating system that is foolproof, and we practice it to the full extent right up in your ass every week to make sure we give you a solid rating for this movie so you know what you're going into when you watch it. If you haven't seen it before, if you were always curious about, I wonder how good of a horror movie this is. Well, we're about to fucking tell you on the scale and where it is and what kind it is. Okay, so how are we going to do this? We're going to do this in a series of 4 categories. 3 of the categories worth 3 points. Last category is worth 1 point for a total of
10 points altogether.
Yes, sir. So let's get into the first category here in the Sloppy Horror Podcast rating, and that is casting.
Feeling a 2, screaming a 2, feeling a 2. Great actors that like lay it down, but nobody really recognizable. Good performances, but just a little bit above middle of the road, but nothing that's, nothing crazy. It's not Jack Torrance in The Shining.
I mean, for a movie where everybody mostly dies, practically everybody does, not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad. Not bad.
Does 2 sound right?
Yes. So that's 2 out of 10 so far here on the Sloppy Horror Podcast rating. Let's get into the second category here in the Sloppy Horror Podcast rating, and that is kills.
I feel like this is a big 2.5 for me because I don't have that 1. But there's so much carnage and so much badass, but I don't have that 1 in my head that's living out. I don't think of one specific kill. There's some cool ones. There's some, ice pick to the throat.
There's a lot of, there's the what is that, whatever, cave pick. Mm-hmm. That's been used. We got throat slit, hanging. We got fucking
all the creatures.
Bashing skulls in, gouging eyes out, stabbings in the heads. You also got some carnage just from accidents and all that shit. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of variety. There's a good amount, but yeah, nothing. There's that not extra little bump. I don't think of one specific kill.
No, it's not downgrading any of the other kills, but there's not like a specific kill that I think would live in like the top 100 kills in horror history. No, I don't. But they're done very well. They look really good.
Yeah.
So honestly, the only part of the CGI that looks shitty in this movie are the bats leaving the cave, because the crawlers are real people. They're not all CGI, but there's a little bit used, but it's perfect blend aside from the bats. The bats were a little shitty, but whatever. It's 2005.
I know. You can't get that many bats anyway.
No.
I don't know if there's a bat guy. Who knows? But
maybe a Batman.
So, oh shit. So that's 4.5 so far here in the Sloppy Horror Podcast rating. Third final 3-point category here in the Sloppy Horror Podcast rating, and that is fear.
So, this is not the same as everything else. A situation like Cujo, you have fear for that child and that mom because it's a mom. But these are like, strap-on dildo, granola white ladies. These girls are a little tougher, so you don't have that kind of fear because they are kind of badass. They're killing these creatures and they're handling themselves. They're doing well. They're not soft. So I don't get that kind of fear. It's not that kind of imminent, but this is screaming a 2 for me because a cave is a realistic, not everybody's going caving, but it's like something that's understood. And if you are engaged in this movie, it's a ride. It's still a ride. I watched it and I'm like, fuck, still that way. Is it something where you're gonna like be freaked out for months and leave real heavy with it? You'll leave with a little bit. You'll think of caves differently, but while you're watching, this movie is engaging as shit. And I don't know. It just felt like a 2 to me. I don't know about you.
Sure. I mean, 2, because in the back of your mind, this could possibly happen. Are you going to be in this situation? Probably not.
Mm-hmm.
But, like you said, it made me forever look at caves differently.
And it plays a little on that the thing quality where it's like what's that game Among Us? Like where you gotta like try to trust everyone and know who's cool and who's not cool. And people that you think are friends, you find out aren't your friends, stuff like that. Like that's why you keep small friend groups. You know who your friends are. But it plays on that, plays on claustrophobia. And then you've got demon creatures, like these mutants. So there's a wide variety of like elements that start pressure cooking. And I think the lighting and the music did a great job at really you just can't see everything. And that, like, it just bothers the brain. You want to be able to see everything. If everything was lit up, it wouldn't be that bad.
Right.
But, so, yeah, I don't know. Feels good.
Okay, so that is 6.5 so far here on the Sloppy Horror Podcast rating. The final 1 point category for half a point each here on the Sloppy Horror Podcast rating. And that is rewatchability.
I'm going to say yeah. Yeah, I love this movie every time I rewatch it. It's a film I love to show to people that haven't seen it. And this movie isn't exclusive for ladies, but I do feel like there are movies that are, I don't want to say misogynistic, but there are movies that are a little like overkill within slasher territories or other territories where it's like, there's just a lot of titties and a lot of like, oh my God. These are badass chicks in this movie. You got some badass chicks in here. They don't play them all as dummies, but it's also like something that even like the toughest dude, like I feel like would be into. I really enjoyed it, and I don't look at it any different with all female leads. I thought it was great. I really enjoyed it, and I think it has a wide spectrum. So,
yeah, perfectly said. Yeah, I don't have anything to add to that, so I agree with it. I do enjoy this movie. I forgot how good it was because I haven't seen it in a while. But as soon as you said the name, like, you're gonna remember this movie. And and there's gonna be a time where you're gonna want to watch it again because it's just good. It's just good, especially if you're a horror fan. It's a perfect thing. Perfect thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
So that is a total of 7.5 for The Descent here on the Sloppy Horror Podcast, right back up in your ass. There you go.
That's a great rating, and I really do. Thinking about that further, I feel like this got great crossover. Like, if your parents were like, "Can we watch this?" Because like maybe some movies they could watch anything they wanted, but some movies you might be like, "I don't know if that's gonna be for y'all. That's not gonna be it." But I feel like this has a little bit of crossover because of the act of caving, where you're like, say that movie Fall or that movie Frozen. That's the same kind of way where you're not. Or 47 meters down. People who don't really enjoy horror can be like, oh, what, a shark cage got trapped at the bottom of the water? You're like, oh, hell. Oh, these girls get trapped on top of a tower? Oh, hell. It's situational.
Well, and it also helps that there's no nudity. There's no sex in it.
Mm-hmm. We
don't have to do that anymore.
All right, well, I guess that's the next part, Mark. We got to get to your segment.
Oh.
I missed you, mister. Mr. Rollsock. Tell him if they're old enough to watch that scary stuff. For the parents who give a fuck. Yeah, these little shits, we gotta see how old these kids are allowed to be. Once again, if you're not familiar with this segment, this is called the Ozark Marks Parental Guidance. Many times, parents who love horror movies, they would love to get their kids into it, but they're afraid they're gonna fuck them up or scar them. So we try to include this segment on some movies. Some are like no-brainers. Yeah, if you can't let your kid watch this, you can, but at your own discretion. But there are movies that are on the fence that we really like to give what Mark would think is a recommended age. If Mark was in charge of a shitload of kids and he was playing The Descent in a room, you had to be this age to walk in this room to watch the movie. This is kind of a tough one.
Well, it is. Let's go through the big ones that factor into this thing. First thing is nudity and sex. There is none of it.
Zero.
There is none of it. There's not even side boob.
No.
Nothing. So that's good.
Minimal drug use. The joints you wouldn't even know. Like, it seems like they're smoking cigarettes.
I thought, oh yeah, I didn't even really notice that. So that's there. There's not a lot of drug use. But the thing is, there is some brutality. There's a lot of brutality, a lot of on-screen brutality in here. There's a lot of things. There's copper pipes going through people's skulls. A lot of stabbings, a lot of throat slits. There's a lot of violence.
A lot of carnage.
A lot of carnage. But this is a different time frame. This is 2024. A lot of people are used to carnage. Especially kids, where it's through, superhero movies have fucking carnage in it. Fucking video games have carnage in it. So, that's nothing new. I'd go like 12.
Yeah, 12 would be perfect.
12, you're good. I think 12-year-olds can get into this movie and be okay. Mm-hmm. That's what I say. And that's the bottom line.
'Cause Stone Cold
Said so. There you go.
Yeah. Well, that's good. So we got a 7.5 movie rating. We've got a 12-year-old age rating for this movie. Some good stuff, dude. I'm pretty happy we got this one in the books because I've thought of this movie for a long time, tried to find a right way to throw it in there. But, you know, that was where we had to travel this week. We had to pull up to the cave. We had to hop in, but we made it out alive, all right? We ate enough granola to survive. We made it, dog. This would be a movie your dad would survive, too. He'd come out with hundreds of them, dude.
Probably.
I hunted these little fuckers.
He would know how to get out of there instantly.
Dude, he would. He wouldn't even be afraid.
No.
He'd be like Rambo in there.
Probably.
I yearn for that. I hope I display that like kind of confidence at that age where somebody's like, this guy can get me out of a cave full of mutants, you know. I probably won't.
Well, I don't know. We've been educated through this movie. This movie helps a lot.
Yep.
You know, on what to do and what not to do.
Now, do we gotta what's my clock looking like here?
You got 4 minutes.
4 minutes. All right. So here's where we're gonna go. First and foremost, I'm gonna mention it again. Do not forget to check out those t-shirts. Guys, if you haven't checked out the Sloppy Shop, if you look underneath the description of any of our videos or whatever audio episode you're listening to, you can find the link and click on it. All kinds of cool stuff. And then they run different promos and sales. We don't necessarily control those when they come out, but they're all throughout the month. You'll find like 25% off or free shipping, all kinds of cool stuff. But if you guys do get these t-shirts, be sure to tag us, you know, on Instagram, wherever. Let us know that you guys got them because it means a lot to us and it helps keep the lights on around here. So make sure you guys fucking hop on it. Number 2, second thing. Our road trip isn't over, dog. We got one more place to go. All right, we got one more place to go. And as a matter of fact, this movie kind of like fits the road trip description because they're traveling all over. I mean, they go to different places. They go to amusement parks. They go to, you know, stores all over. They've got people from all over. You know, it's a land where people are familiar, all right? And they're dealing with, you know, scary flesh-eating, you know, creatures that have returned from the dead. Zombies.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Twinkies. Got it.
Twinkies. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. We got it all.
That should be a fun one.
Yep. Oh, dude. I like that it's kind of a, you know, obviously it's a horror comedy, but I thought the zombies in this movie were done very well. And I think it's a fun little movie. You know, it's unfortunate one of the main characters is named Columbus and not Cincinnati, but, you know, it's okay. It's okay.
You know.
What are you going to do?
What can you do? Some people just don't have good taste. What are you going to do?
They don't. They don't. But I'm excited to talk about that one. And you know what that means with the horror comedy? That changes the rating scale.
It does, you know. We'll have to change that up. That's always fun to do.
And truthfully, I think even the movie that we are talking about, it would rate truly well on a kill standpoint, but it's so fucking funny that you can't leave that out either. Like,
right.
That's just one of those movies, kind of like a Goodfellas, or one of those ones. If it's on TV, I can just get caught watching it and just be like, all right. Any point, you're just like, all right, this movie is funny. It makes me laugh. So, I think you guys have a pretty good idea of what that movie is. So, you guys better return for that finale. You better be here. Okay? Don't forget about those damn t-shirts. Don't you forget to go check out them bonus episodes on Patreon. Literally anything that Sloppy Horror has, be it an Instagram, a YouTube, I don't care if it's fucking Facebook. You go follow it. You go like it. You go put your fucking fingers all over it. You let us know. You let us know. And it means the world.
All right. And another good thing is, being next week is the last stop on the road trip. After that happens, we get into the most exciting time of the year, and that is the return of the Sloppy Road to Halloween.
Halloween's scary.
Whoa, everybody should be excited about that one.
Oh yeah, dude.
I'm swelling up just thinking about it.
We're not fucking around, dude. We're gonna get into some intense movies, some great movies, some legendary flicks, but it's gonna be fun. It's going to be fun. We're going to need your guys' help because we're going into the fall. So that means it's spooky season. So people that aren't generally into horror movies like we are year-round, like you nerds, that's okay. We all belong here. But for the folks that don't, we need your guys' help. You know, that all that sharing and doing stuff like that, letting people know once they start talking about horror movies, like, which ones do you recommend? Why don't you check out my boys at the Sloppy Horror Podcast, and they'll help do that for you.
This is our time of the year to give back to people.
Yeah, and
this is the only time of the year people like us, too.
Yeah, and how much do you have to pay for our podcast each week? Oh, I'm sorry, $0. And how many advertisements will you find on there? Oh, I'm sorry, 0? That's because we care about you boys and girls. This isn't some kind of bullshit. So I'm ready to see y'all next week in the land for the finale with your T-shirts.
Yeah. Goodbye, you fucking queefs.